Welcome in to another episode from the Critics Collective. I am Ron, and I'm here with Iris, and we are talking Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. This came out in 1988. We're 80s babies, and though I was probably too young to really watch this through VH1 and MTV, this was on replay over and over again. It was kind of like my version of The Wizard of Oz as far as reruns go. And before we go ahead and give you the highs and lows, we'll also tell you what we think of this as far as rating at the end of it. Um, the storyline for this movie, if you could call it that, we'll get into it, is it's basically Michael Jackson in his prime. This is 1988. This is after Bad came out. Michael was like the hottest thing in music worldwide. Bad album had the most singles and everything that was going on, and so he's in his prime, and he combines a number of music videos from that album, and then he sprinkles that in with a drug dealer and some claymation, and that's how you get this movie. Now, before Iris jumps into it with her highs and lows, hit the subscribe button, like, follow, and Shimon on down to the comments. We would really, really appreciate it. Iris, what do you think of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker?
Okay, so y'all, please don't be mad at me, but it was boring. I did find myself having to draw back to it. Like some of the main songs that, don't get me wrong, like some of the songs I was like, yes, taking me back. I was getting into it, but the flow, and I want to say like the story he was trying to build itself was boring. And for me, the story doesn't really make sense in the beginning, at least in my opinion. I understand what he was trying to do, but I feel like it kind of missed the mark. It wasn't until the mid to end where you really see like the big chunk of the movie that he creates that it's like, oh, okay, okay, there's a story. There's something happening there. But like the first good half of it was like literally just jumping from music video to music video to music video to like boom, there's a movie. And I'm like, how does the beginning connect toward to the middle to end? I just I know for during the time period, it it was awesome. It was because it's Michael Jackson. The claymation, all of the effects, all of the special effects, you know, for that for the time period was great. Uh, but if you really pay attention to like whatever plot he was going for,
Mm,
I was just like, I don't know what the hell this is. It was like, look, it's like a Monet. From far away, you can see what they're trying to give you. It's beautiful. And then when you get up close, you're like, what the fuck is this mess? And yeah, that's,
that
I
sums it
think,
up for you.
yeah, that's really what sums it up with me. My highs was, of course, the music itself. That was like the best part of it.
Mhm.
And that's all I got.
All right. Okay. So for me, my lows, I always start off with the lows. The lows are, excuse me, it's similar to Michael Jackson's Bad album, again, 1987. Michael Jackson at this time is on tour for this album, a world tour. Ladies and men just passing out, falling out. And that album, in my opinion, as critically acclaimed as people put it up, it is, the songs don't flow together. They don't have necessarily a flow like a concept album, like when you listen to Escape. Even though it's put together, there's a storyline to it. But if you look at Dangerous, or you look at History, that kind of takes it, like some of them are concept albums where it has a flow, much like the album This doesn't have a flow. Like Iris said, there is no flow between the mini short movie that has Joe Pesci playing Frank as a drug dealer, and he's trying to save these kids. I don't know why a drug dealer necessarily wants to take kids. I feel like there's an underlining storyline there, but that drug dealer's name is the same name as Michael Jackson's manager. So take that for whatever you want. Um, but to have that mini movie in there is is just weird. It just doesn't fit the narrative of what the beginning gives you, which it's three movies in one. It gives you a throwback of his time growing up from the Jackson 5 all the way up. It gives you some music videos. It gives you that paparazzi. You not Michael Jackson. You ain't bad. You had the Domino's pizza person chasing him. You had a bunny that was dressing cool back and forth. I think if you slow it down, they might have edited. I remember as a kid, don't judge me. When he turns into Tina Turner, there's a titty out. There's a whole titty out. It just doesn't make any sense. Somebody put that in there. I'm sure Mike didn't approve, but there's a whole titty out. Tina Turner's titty. TTT. Um, but it's something about it. Now, the good things I will say about it is you get a chance to see some young actors in it that later on continue. You have little small jokes and Easter eggs. Like one point, Zeke, who plays Michael Jackson, the small one, he's wearing one of the outfits from Michael Jackson's earlier video shoots. And there's a part where he's finished with Batter. The scene for that, he comes down the stairs and he's like, "What's Bubbles doing?" And it's like, Bubbles is, he's da 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 da. He's wearing a Prince shirt. And mind you, Prince and him are beefing. Now they squashed their beef before they passed, but they're beefing. So you had little small Easter eggs and stuff like that. But unfortunately, it just didn't have the consistency as far as what a movie would go. Now, this made a whole bunch of fucking money. This went multi-platinum. This is supposed to go in the movie theaters, but they couldn't time it with the tour. But yeah, I think I don't know what Iris is gonna say on the rating. I feel like we're not gonna be on the same page, but only one way to find out. The rating we're gonna do is gonna be from 0 to 5. We're talking about Moonwalker, Michael Jackson, 1988. When people talk about a project, a passion project, that's exactly what this is. This man had all the money in the world. $22 million is the budget for this, and again, this went multiple platinum in multiple countries. I'm sure they made this back. Critics thought that this was bloated and this was a ego trip, but then again, man, if you got this money, now I don't know if this. Think about it. This 1980 something. Fast forward now, we have Beyonce, Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, Drake, Kendrick, so many celebrities go on world tours and they record them and they go out to theaters now. They make that money from theater. So he was one of the pioneers, I think, that did. Madonna was another one that did stuff like this. So I think it's interesting what the concept started and what we do now. It's not too far from it. But Iris, what do you think? From 0 to 5, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. And before she says anything, moonwalk over to the comments, hit the subscribe button, like, follow, notification bell on, so you don't miss a video from the Critic Collective. Go for it.
You're I don't know if you're gonna be shocked, but I'm giving this baby a 2.
A 2?
I am. I'm giving it a 2. Like,
Damn.
it's not something that I mean, if you're feeling nostalgic, you're like, "Oh, you know what? I feel like looking at something back from the '80s that was shitty. I'd rather watch The Toxic Avenger, to be honest with you, because I'm sorry, other than the music, maybe just playing it in the background to listen to the music, yes,
Mhm.
definitely, you know? But to watch it for quality in regards as, like, an actual movie, no, garbage too.
Mm. It's not too far off from what I said. I was going to say 3. I was going to say average. If it wasn't for the fact that it's Michael Jackson and the music, and you got Speed Demon, Leave Me Alone. There's some really good songs. Smooth Criminal, where a lot of repeats cut out the additional stuff, like the opening, that jazz opening he had. The fact that Michael Jackson used a real Tommy gun with blanks, and the actors didn't know. So when you see them freaking out when he's like, ah, um, this motherfucker's always running. In this whole movie, he's running everywhere. He's running. It's slow motion running. The fog. It's rain. It's claymation. But nostalgia wise, I still can watch this. I have my kid watch it. Like I said, I can quote line for line for this movie. I've watched it so many times. And we've also done the review for Alvin and the Chipmunks, where they go past the decades and it's featuring Michael Jackson. So again, you're watching him in the 80s, early 90s, and it just, you couldn't do anything different if Michael Jackson was or wasn't on a project with you. So yeah, that's what we have. We have a 2, which I think is below average, and we have a 3 that's average. You could have been anywhere in the world and you chose to be here with Iris and Ron. Until next time, have a great day, or go watch something else, or I don't know what you would watch, but don't. Would you say watch this? Would you recommend for somebody to watch it? I feel like you wouldn't.
No,
I feel like this was tough for you.
no. I mean, unless you just need to be wanna make sure you're up to date with pop culture from back in the '80s and just, God forbid, a conversation were to ever pop up that you could keep up with the convo, that
Mhm.
would be the only reason. Watch it once just to say you watched it, and that's a
Yeah, I would say watch it. I would say order some pizza, some soda, milk, water, whatever's your thing. Watch it. Just like she
garbage.
said, get it out of your system. Go play the video game on Sega Genesis. I had it. Just get it out of your system, and then you'll be fine. And you don't have to do it again. We promise.